Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Certainly, signing day, great day across the landscape of college football and all across our country. And I think for me, the appreciation of all the hard work and effort of a bunch of people that goes into making what I feel is a very fine class and a very solid class from top to bottom. I think there's a lot of things that are left unsaid, and a lot of people that are working behind the scenes to do a really good job to put that together. So, I'll hit the thank yous a little bit later when we do our deal with the fans. But, again, I can't say enough about the sacrifices that those type of people have made, and from our academic ladies to, our weight staff, our training staff, our equipment staff, and from top to bottom to put together a great class. So, and like I said, I do feel this is a great class. It's a lot of position needs were addressed from the defensive front, the offensive line, moving forward, losing some key guys there in a class that, added some depth at every position virtually. So very excited where we're at, very excited about today, very excited about the future of our football program and where we're headed and where we're going. So with that being said, I'll certainly take any questions you may have. Yeah, very different. You get a chance to spend 12, 13, 14 months with some of these guys and fostering those relationships and really getting to know the true person instead of just what you see on the videotape. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a new experience for every young man that we bring into our football program because they've never done this before and they've never played college football and they've never had to be away from home. So as good as a highlight tape may look at times, I think sometimes in a short season like last year, in a short recruiting time that we had, you don't get a true feel for what you really are going to get. I really feel confident that we put together a character class of good people and good young men who have a passion for football and are really going to give you everything they got or give us everything they got and what we're asking them to do, and certainly chasing their degree as well. So, but certainly very different, for the long haul of that from that perspective of things.
You said your recruiting footprint is largely about a 5 or 6 hour car ride outside the city, but several south of Mason-Dixon land, including 4 out of Alabama. How do you develop these ties?
Well, home base is home base. If you can get in the car and drive for 4 hours, I think you'll see 15 guys that added to this class that are from what we call, our primary area. And, from there, it's our job and our responsibility if we don't find what we need in our primary area to get on an airplane and go search and find the best players, because that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be the best. And last year at this time, I sat and said that recruiting rankings don't mean a whole lot, and I still believe that. But I do also believe that, when a number one spot's on the line, you should certainly chase it. And I'm glad our staff really embraced that and did that and put together a fantastic class.
How do you sell Toledo to a kid from Florida or Alabama that maybe doesn't know much about the program?
Well, I think our university and our administration has done a good job of putting Toledo as a national brand and getting us to bowl games in southern states and around the country and places where we can have exposure. I know sometimes midweek action games are not ideal for fans, but certainly for coaches and recruiting, it certainly is. And you win with players. That's the bottom line. So to have our brand on national television, to be in bowl games in certain areas, I think that certainly helps. And then your staff's got to do a really good job of talking about what they really believe in. And we got a great coaching staff that really believes in the city of Toledo and our football program here.
To follow up on that earlier question, a lot of people like to crack on the recruiting rankings, but at the same time, history shows that the teams that rank the highest are generally, including you guys, are the ones who are right there. How much stock should we put in those numbers? I mean, it seems like the coaches who say it doesn't matter are the ones that just signed that class.
Well, I pay attention to them. I do. I certainly know that it's just like your football record. You pay attention to it. If you win 9 games or you don't win 9 games. You certainly do. So, but I also came from a Division III program where I had on one team I had 2 wide receivers drafted that I had the fortune to coach. So we have a great player on our team, Cody Thompson, right now that had 0 stars next to his name and 1 scholarship offer coming out of high school. So I think that the people that do these and work for these services, they are good at what they do, and they don't rank players just to say they ranked them. So usually they saw them at a camp or at a combine somewhere, and that particular player did something really good, so therefore they got a good ranking. So to say that the rankings don't mean anything, I don't think that's necessarily true. But like I said, bringing a player that has a great ranking or not so great ranking into a situation he's never been in, I think it's still what lies ahead is still yet to be told.
And one of the names that really stood out was Nick Sims, especially when you saw some of the other schools that were coming in late
Yeah.
guys were able to kind of build that relationship and hold the guys off?
Yeah, we got in a situation towards the end of recruiting there where we felt like we, had a chance. This guy's videotape comes across our desk. He's got a great highlight film. And you want to investigate. And fortunately, he played football in Mobile, Alabama, and we had a pretty good player in Mobile, Alabama last week sitting right down the street at practice. So if you wanted to go, if you're in Nick's case and you wanted to see how we use our running back and what our players look like, he could go walk down the street to Lad Peoples Stadium and watch those guys practice last week. So had a great visit with him and his mother, great official trip up here, and certainly lucky to get him, certainly and fortunate and happy to have him.
Jason, this year you've signed 3 kids from Toledo. A 4th wasn't able to come because of academics. A 5th made his change in the last week or so and went somewhere else. But it shows you're getting some real impact in the metro area. Is that something? Are we getting better athletes in Toledo that are attracting your interest, or is that a philosophy you're trying to get a lot of closer to home guys if you can?
Well, I think this is a great city for football in general. If you look at our fan base, incredible fan base. You look at high school football games, very well attended. You start going around the city, and I watch some of your programs on the evening news, and you brag about how many games through a Friday night are sold out for high school basketball. This is a part of the country that's passionate about high school sports. And if that passion filters down to youth leagues and middle school leagues, you're naturally going to get people more developed to play high school sports and be better at it. And certainly, if there's a great player in our city, we're foolish not to recruit him and foolish to let him get out of here if we can help it. So we got to do a great job of making Toledo home base and working from here and spreading our wings to go outward from there. But like I said earlier, if it doesn't work and it doesn't fit for us for whatever reason, and we got to get on an airplane to go find the best players, that's our job and that's our responsibility.
How do you kind of balance maybe positions of need, like you mentioned, defensive line, developing positions of need versus depth at different positions and kind of attack?
Well, as you look at your roster in January or tomorrow when we sit down as a staff and we try to, we're already into 2018s. I'm walking by guys in their offices today and they're watching films on kids from next year already. So that's already a work in progress. But your roster changes. It's a fluid deal. It's going to change after spring practice. It's going to change after summer workouts. It's going to change after fall camp. So you really don't know. You try to address your needs, and then from there, you try to add, take the best players you possibly can, because at the end of the day, those are guys that, if they're can't miss guys, you can't say no to them just because it may be not the, the position of need.
Coach, people always say that you can find a wide receiver pretty easily, skill position, compared to maybe defensive tackle or defensive back. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think if you look at our class, this is a big class. This is a big body class. Offensive and defensive line and needs. I think the way football is played in the youth leagues today, how it's played in the middle school and high school levels, everybody's playing with 4 and 5 wide receivers on the field now. Everybody's throwing the football at a very high rate. It's not 10 or 15 years ago where the teams were lining up in the eye and running the ball a lot. So, yeah, the development of quarterback play and wide receiver play, it's being coached better, to be quite honest with you. So it may be a little easier to find those type of players in the long run. And as you get down to the southern states where they're able to, the climate cooperates and they're able to practice and play football year round, that certainly helps. So, but yeah, the offensive line and the defensive line, that's where the game is won. And, I said this before and you've heard it from other coaches, and no one after the game says, hey, we really out-finessed them. You know what I mean? They always talk about the physicality of our sport, and that will never go away. Anything else? Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.